The Arctic, a land of eternal ice and magical northern lights, is a place where nature remains untouched, and every scene astonishes with the power and stillness of the earth and sky. From the Lofoten Islands, an archipelago famous for its ancient fishing villages, nestled between rocky mountains and icy seas, the landscape appears like a living painting, with Arctic light reflecting off the water and snow covering the surroundings. At the Svalbard Archipelago, where polar bears roam the white snow and glacier-covered mountains rise majestically, the scenery is awe-inspiring. This is truly a land where nature completely dictates the rhythm of human life. Step into the Arctic, where ice and snow teach resilience, where northern lights illuminate moments of wonder, and where every mountain and glacier tells the story of a pristine yet magnificent world. Saariselkä, the land of wind and snow, lies quietly in the far north of Finland, where nature remains as wild and untouched as it was in the beginning. In winter, the entire region is wrapped in endless white, as snow thickens over pine ridges and the northern lights dance across the sky like shimmering ribbons. From the summit of Kaunisberg, where one can look out over soft snow-covered hills, to the vast Urho Kekkonen forest, Saariselkä is a portrait of stillness and purity. Beneath the night sky, small wooden cabins glow with warm amber light, while pale smoke drifts upward like the calm breath of the Arctic. Reindeer-drawn sleds glide through the deep forest, leaving trails of fine snow and the gentle sound of bells. In the freezing air, everything slows down, each step, each breath, reminding people of the quiet beauty that lies in simplicity. Saariselkä is neither loud nor showy. It tells its story softly, through wind and snow. At the edge of the northern light, visitors come not only to see the aurora, but to listen to the silence within their own hearts. Inari, the frozen land of Finland, rests peacefully beside the vast lake Inarijärvi, where in winter the surface turns into an endless sea of ice. This is the heart of Lapland, where nature and Sami culture coexist amid white snow and the glow of the northern lights. Across the frozen lake, small wooden cabins appear through the icy mist, thin blue smoke curling gently into the still air. In the distance, pine forests blanketed in snow reflect the soft shimmer of the aurora, making the entire landscape feel like it's drifting through a cold dream. Inside the small villages, life moves slowly and steadfastly. The warm yellow glow from windows mingles with the blue hue of the northern night, creating a scene both solitary and comforting amid this land of snow and frost. Inari is not merely a place, but a symbol of tranquility and simplicity in the Arctic. Here, snow does not just cover the ground, but also drapes over time itself, inviting people to pause and listen to the whispers of the north within their own hearts. Levi, the shining jewel of Lapland, is where white snow, northern lights, and the spirit of adventure meet in the vast wilderness of Finland. Among snowy plateaus and frost-laden pine forests, Levi radiates pure beauty, where winter is not just a season, but an endless miracle. From the slopes of Levi Fell, where ski trails weave through silent woods, to the heart of Levi Village, where warm golden lights shimmer across the ice, every corner glows with the magic of Christmas. Beyond, Lake Imajärvi lies under a veil of frost, mirroring the emerald ribbons of the aurora dancing across the night sky, as if the place itself had stepped out of a winter dream. From the ancient pine forests of Katkatunturi to the secluded log cabins tucked along the mountainside, Levi evokes a rare serenity, a place where people move in harmony with the rhythm of nature. Each morning, the northern dawn paints soft hues across the snow, casting a tender glow over the frozen horizon. Levi is more than a ski resort. It is a journey back to stillness within the heart, where every sound melts beneath the soft snow, leaving only the eternal pulse of nature. Vatnajökull National Park lies in southeastern Iceland, blanketed by the largest ice mass in Europe. Beneath hundreds of feet of glacial thickness rest sleeping volcanoes, crystal blue ice caves, and valleys carved by thousands of years of frost. The entire landscape holds a majestic beauty where the strength and stillness of nature merge as one. From Skaftafell, with its snow-covered slopes and cascading ice falls, to the Svinafelljökull glacier stretching toward the horizon, every corner of the park reveals the vastness of the Arctic chill. The northern lights often appear, shimmering across the ice like ribbons of green drifting through the sky. In the heart of winter, winds sweep across the silent ice fields, carrying the cold breath of the ocean. The sound of the wind, the crack of ice, and the endless quiet form the rhythm of this land, fierce yet pure. Vatnajökull is more than a national park. It is the frozen heart of Iceland. Here, one is reminded of nature's primal power and the boundless beauty of the northern world. Lyngen Alps, the frozen mountain range of Norway, rises from the cold expanse of Tromsø, where sharp, snow-clad peaks pierce the sky like icy spears. This is a realm of wind, ice, and absolute stillness, where nature keeps the full majesty and severity of the Arctic untouched. From the white slopes of Lyngsidet to the deep fjords surrounding Ullsfjord, the landscape feels both fierce and dreamlike. At the base of the mountains, the frozen sea glimmers faintly, while above, peaks soaring over 6,000 feet vanish into grey clouds, forming a horizon carved from cold light. The wind whistles through narrow passes, snow swirls in thick veils, and at times the northern lights descend quietly, washing the Lyngen range in a mystical green glow. Life here is sparse, just a handful of small wooden cabins by the fjord, glowing softly like tiny hearths in the endless night. The Lyngen Alps are more than a mountain range. They are a symbol of the North's untouched beauty. Here, humans do not conquer nature, but stand in silent awe, amid snow, wind, and the eternity of earth and sky. Vesterålen, the northern archipelago of Norway, is where sea, snow, and mountains merge into one vast frozen panorama. Ice-covered peaks rise from the grey waters, reflecting the dim northern light, and giving the entire region a dreamlike quality, suspended somewhere between reality and reverie. From Andenes to Sortland, Vesterålen stretches across a chain of islands connected by bridges spanning the icy sea. Winds blow endlessly from the Atlantic, carrying salt and fine snow that settle on rooftops and winding mountain roads, leaving a veil of white over everything. During the long winter, the rare daylight glints across frozen waters, where whales sometimes surface through the pale mist, and seabirds glide across a silent sky. Life here moves slowly, where every sound dissolves into the whispering winds from the north. Vesterålen is neither bright nor boisterous. It is a place where time stands still between snow and sea, where nature, cold and sacred, makes every visitor feel as though they have reached the edge of the Arctic world. Rovaniemi, the capital of Lapland, is where the dream of Christmas comes to life. Resting right on the Arctic Circle, this small city is blanketed in snow for nearly half the year, where light, frost, and wonder blend into a living fairy tale. From Santa Claus Village, the home of Father Christmas, visitors can send postcards stamped with the Arctic Circle postmark and meet the real Santa himself inside a warm log cabin, glowing with twinkling lights. Not far away, reindeer-drawn sleighs glide quietly through snow-covered pine forests, leaving soft trails across the white wilderness. In winter, Rovaniemi glows beneath the dancing northern lights, their colors reflecting off the frozen Kemijoki River, a scene both serene and surreal. When summer arrives, the sun never sets, and its gentle golden light drapes across mossy plains and crystal lakes, turning all of Lapland into a realm of eternal daylight. Rovaniemi is more than just the home of Christmas. It is a symbol of faith and joy amid harsh lands. Here, people learn to slow down, to smile through the cold, and to believe that magic is real, if only we dare to look up at the sky. Tromsø, the capital of the Arctic, is where light and darkness together tell the story of the aurora, the snow, and the hearts that never stop seeking wonder. Nestled on Tromsø Island, this small city is surrounded by snowy mountains and icy seas where winters stretch endlessly, yet the human spirit stays warm and bright. From Tromsø Bridge, pastel-colored houses line the sparkling fjord like a string of pearls, while the Arctic Cathedral, with its pure white triangular design, rises as a symbol of serenity and strength. From the top of Storsteinen, the city unfolds beneath a mist of snow, fragile yet magnificent. When night falls, Tromsø transforms into a stage for the aurora's dance. Green, violet, and gold lights swirl across the heavens, reflecting on the dark sea below. A moment so surreal, one can hardly tell where the sky ends and the water begins. But Tromsø is not only the land of light. In summer, it comes alive with festivals, music, and laughter as the sun refuses to set for weeks on end. In this harsh northern world, people still find joy, and nature still embraces them, gently, endlessly, and with boundless grace. Kilpisjärvi, a small village in the far northwest of Finland, lies between towering, snow-covered mountains and a frozen lake as still as glass. This is where the country touches the borders of Norway and Sweden, a wild northern realm where wind and ice reign as eternal masters. Through the long winter, Kilpisjärvi is wrapped in near-total silence. Mount Sana stands cloaked in white, solemn beneath a silver-grey sky, while thick clouds drift low across its peak, blurring the boundary between heaven and earth. At times, the northern lights flare above, reflecting on the icy lake below, illuminating the world like a dream. Sparse wooden houses nestle against the hillside, their chimney smoke curling softly into the sub-zero air. There is no sound, only the steady breath of snow and wind, making time itself seem to stand still. Kilpisjärvi is the embodiment of stillness and purity in the far north. Here, people do not seek noise or motion, but quietly stand amid the ice and snow to feel the vastness and absolute peace of Arctic nature. Lofoten Islands, an archipelago that seems to have stepped out of a Nordic dream, stretches across the Arctic Circle, where light and darkness weave together into a surreal masterpiece. Amid Norway's icy seas, jagged peaks rise sharply from deep blue waters, embracing red fishing villages that rest quietly along the shore. From rain, the jewel of the islands, wooden råbu cabins uncast their reflections on the still surface of the fjord, where generations once lived by cod fishing, to Henningsvær, the Venice of the Arctic, where a web of wooden bridges and small harbors lies among grey rocks, and golden lights shimmer against the dark sky like drifting stars. In winter, endless nights are illuminated by the northern lights dancing across the heavens. In summer, the sun never sets, bathing snow-capped peaks and glittering seas in a golden glow. The landscape shifts by the hour, as if time itself were enchanted here. Lofoten is not merely a place to behold. It is a realm to feel the primal heartbeat of the earth, where one can touch the boundary between reality and the ethereal. Baffin Island, the vast icy island in the heart of the Arctic Ocean, is a place where nature is so magnificent and untouched it leaves one in awe. Located in Nunavut, the island is surrounded by snowy mountains, deep fjords, and massive ice fields, where time seems to move slower and humans are mere tiny figures amidst the land and sky. From Cumberland Fjord to Frobisher Bay, towering mountains reflect on the clear waters, creating landscapes that seem to emerge from a dream. In winter, the land and sea are covered in snow and ice, with vivid green northern lights dancing across the night sky, giving everything a surreal quality. Pods of whales, polar bears, and seals appear amidst the white ice, a reminder of the fierce vitality of Arctic nature. In summer, the ice gradually melts, revealing pristine meadows and crystal-clear lakes where seabirds and wildlife gather. The continuous light of the midnight sun transforms mountains, fjords, and seas into a shimmering, magical palette. Baffin Island is not just an island. It is a place where humans confront the raw grandeur of the earth. Amid ice, mountains, and sea, every moment serves as a reminder that Arctic nature is both harsh and mesmerizingly beautiful, inspiring awe and a touch of fear in equal measure. Ilulissat rests along the shores of Disco Bay, where colossal icebergs from the Jakobshavn Glacier drift silently into the sea, creating a scene both majestic and serene. Each block of ice has its own shape, reflecting shades of blue beneath the northern sky, turning the world into a realm of glass and cold wind. The small town of Ilulissat carries the soul of Greenland. Wooden houses painted red, yellow, and blue stand out against the white snow, while blue smoke rises gently from chimneys into the freezing air. Life here moves with the sea, with fishing boats cutting through thick fog, and the sound of waves blending into the breath of the cold. When night falls, the aurora stretches across the sky, dancing over the shimmering ice. The silence of the ocean, mixed with the shifting lights, makes it feel as if one stands on the edge between reality and dream. Ilulissat is more than a place. It is a symbol of the power and purity of the Arctic, where nature still holds absolute dominion. Sisimiut lies along the western coast of Greenland, surrounded by snow-covered mountains and the icy sea that remains frozen year-round. It is a place where harsh nature meets human presence, where colorful wooden houses stand out vividly against the white expanse of snow and rock. This small city is considered the liveliest settlement north of the Arctic Circle, yet its vibrancy moves at the gentle pace of polar life. At the harbor, fishing boats rock softly in the cold mist, while the wind, carrying a trace of sea salt, drifts through the rooftops. Encircling Sisimiut are tall mountains and snowy trails that lead deep into the inland wilderness. In winter, the northern lights appear often, reflecting off the ice and mountain peaks, filling the landscape with a mystical blue glow. Sisimiut is a portrait of Greenland itself, a place where people live in harmony with the frozen world. Amid the bitter cold and quiet beauty, it reminds us that resilience and peace can exist together at the very edge of the world. Jökulsárlón lies on the southeastern edge of Iceland, where the Breidamakurjökull glacier melts into a deep blue lagoon amid a frozen landscape. On the lake's surface, icebergs of every size drift and turn quietly, reflecting the silvery glow of the Arctic sky and creating a scene both tranquil and surreal. The sounds here are those of cracking ice, water striking massive frozen walls, and the frigid breath of the nearby ocean. At times, a chunk of ice breaks free, gliding slowly toward the sea, where it disappears among cold waves and drifting white mist. Along the shore, seals rest among glittering ice formations, while in the distance rises the vast Vatnajökull range, blanketed with snow throughout the year. Everything here carries an air of solitude and untouched beauty, like a painting untouched by time. Jökulsárlón is more than a glacial lake. It is a place where one can feel the very heartbeat of the earth. Amid blue light and bone-chilling cold, nature tells its endless story of ice, water, and time, a story that never stops flowing. North Cape, the northernmost point of Europe, is where the world seems to pause between sky and sea. Perched on Magaroya Island amid Arctic winds and drifting fog, it marks the boundary between the solid earth and the infinite, between humankind and the vastness of nature. Following the winding road up to the Nordkapp Plateau, travelers feel as though they are entering another world. Gusts of icy wind, towering black cliffs, rising 1,007 feet above the sea, and below, the restless Arctic Ocean surging endlessly. When you stand beside the Iron Globe, the iconic monument of North Cape, it feels as if you are standing on the rooftop of the world. In summer, the sun never sets for weeks, hovering just above the horizon like an eternal lantern. Its golden light washes over rock and sea, turning everything into a shimmering dreamscape. In winter, snowstorms and darkness reign. Yet sometimes the aurora bursts forth, a gift from the heavens for those who dare to reach the edge of the earth. North Cape is not merely a point on the map. It is a feeling of facing the infinite, a place where one realizes how small we are, yet how profoundly magnificent in our own way. Svalbard Archipelago, the remote Norwegian islands between the Barents Sea and the Arctic Ocean, is a realm ruled by ice all year round. From above, the archipelago appears as fragments of dark rock wrapped in glaciers, drifting quietly through the frozen mist of the far north. In Longyearbyen, the largest settlement and one of the few inhabited year-round, life endures in silence and harsh beauty. Brightly painted wooden houses stand out against the endless white, their warm lights glowing through the perpetual night like rare embers in a world of frost. Farther out lie frozen fjords, where polar bears, seals, and Arctic foxes roam among drifting ice. The howling wind, the crack of breaking ice, and the faint rhythm of waves create a somber symphony unique to the polar world. Svalbard Archipelago is not merely the northernmost point of Norway. It is where humanity meets the edge of existence. Here, ice is not just scenery, but spirit, silent, frigid, and hauntingly beautiful. Rust Islands, the smallest of the Lofoten Archipelago, are where the ocean and the sky become one, where waves, wind, and seabirds compose the Northern Symphony. Lying over 60 miles from the mainland, Rust seems to float in the deep blue Norwegian Sea, remote yet brimming with life. On the main island, rust-landet, bright red wooden houses mingle with grassy fields and timber bridges, their reflections mirrored on glassy waters. In summer, fishermen hang cod to dry on tall wooden racks, the salty scent of the sea filling the air, a tradition that has sustained generations for centuries. In the distance, the cliffs of Vardøya and Treniken rise as sanctuaries for millions of seabirds, gulls, kittiwakes, and puffins, painting the sky like a living canvas. During the nights when the sun never sets, a soft, golden haze drapes over the islands, suspending everything between dream and reality. On Rust, there is no noise of cities, only the rhythm of waves, the whisper of the wind, and the gentle pulse of life between sea and sky. Rust Islands are nature's whisper, simple, wild, yet deeply poetic, where beauty is not born from grandeur, but from a quiet peace that reaches the soul. Senja, the wild island of Norway, lies hidden amid the icy Norwegian Sea, where snow-covered peaks pierce the silver-grey sky. This is a land where nature keeps its northern ferocity intact, where wind, rock, and waves carve a landscape of raw majesty. From the steep cliffs of Tungeneset overlooking the ocean to the small coves around Mefjordvær, Senja is a world painted in white, grey, and deep blue. The frigid sea crashes against the shore, mist rising from the freezing air, while heavy clouds drift low across the mountain tops, wrapping the island in a veil of snow and mist. Through the long winter, the northern lights sometimes flicker behind the clouds, casting reflections over mirror-still waters. Red wooden houses, tucked along the fjords, glow brightly against the snow, the only sign of human life in this solitude. Senja is neither loud nor grandiose. It is a place to feel the biting breath of the ocean, the solitude of frozen peaks, and the pure beauty that only the far north can offer. Kirkenes, a small town in the far northeastern corner of Norway, rests quietly on the icy border shared with Russia and Finland. Here, winter stretches endlessly. Snow blankets rooftops, and the streets remain hushed under the pale northern light year-round. From the misty Barents Harbour to the snowy hills of Pasvik Valley, Kirkenes embodies the stark stillness of a borderland. The air bites at the skin, carrying the salty breath of the sea and the resin scent of deep pine forests, a blend of solitude and purity that defines this remote Arctic place. Snowmobiles glide across frozen lakes, while warm yellow light spills from wooden houses, reflecting on thick layers of snow like small flames flickering in the darkness. At times, the northern lights appear silently above, magnificent and brief, illuminating the slumbering town below. Kirkenes is not a place of noise or spectacle, but one of endurance and calm. In this land of perpetual frost, people learn to listen to the wind, the cracking ice, and the slow, steady rhythm of their own hearts beneath the Arctic sky. Alta, the city of the Northern Lights, rests along the shores of the Alta Fjord, surrounded by the snow-capped mountains of Finnmark. This place is a magical fusion of majestic nature and ancient culture, where people have lived for thousands of years amid the harsh beauty of the Arctic lands. In winter, Alta becomes Norway's capital of the aurora, where the night sky shimmers with waves of green, purple and gold dancing endlessly above. In summer, the sun never sets, bathing mountains, forests and glaciers in golden light, a landscape glowing as if drawn from a fairy tale. Alta is not just a place to watch the sky, it is where one can hear the heartbeat of the Arctic, slow, deep, and otherworldly. Between ice and fire, Alta reminds us that even the cold can shine with the brilliance of the northern lights themselves.